know right from wrong. I know God never let us down. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Y'all remember the Tiki Torch Nazis? We're so hard every day to keep on fighting. I bet you miss them now. Now you see the Fourth Reich. Every day the people are dying. Now you see the Fourth Reich. I remember we told y'all don't worry about them Tiki torches. Remember we told you that? Lamentation. But it is something about revelations. You'll find you're something. We don't want no devil's philosophy. Teach us the teachings of His Majesty. Oh, we don't want your colonizer philosophies. You feel it, then it won't dry. And you're still trying to get the vote. You've chosen voting for the Biden and Trump. All right. Let me stop. I have to do that one deep. I can't do that one high. That's just not going to work out. Good morning, everybody. You feel it in the one drop. Anybody miss the Tiki Torch Nazis? I miss them. I miss them, y'all. I think Tiki Torch Nazis are sexy in comparison to what we got today. Have y'all seen what is this going on in the UK? The UK just passed a law that's kind of based in the NDA type law, where they own you, your person, your body, your livestock, your crop, your lights in your house, your milk, your water, your shoes, your drawers. They own every damn thing if they think you got the cuckoo virus. Have y'all seen this? And you don't get your shots. Man, we got to talk about this. I thought one of the last standing countries out there might be the UK. Oh, no. They go on the root of the United States of colonized America, Rothschild territory. Who's that? Bandit Committee? Hey, Bandit Committee. Thank you for subscribing. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? We got to talk about a few things today. We got to talk about the tech giants owning the science. We got to talk about that. The tech giants silencing doctors and nurses, because you got to trust the science. It means you got to trust the people with the pocket protectors and the circuit boards and the software. Apparently that's trusting the science now. Good morning. Let me get YouTube going. There's YouTube. Got Facebook. How's everybody doing this morning? Y'all doing good? How your mama doing? Your mama doing good? Let me see. I got a message for this morning. And it's don't 1984 me, bro. See, y'all was fighting the tasers. You thought the taser was the problem. The taser had nothing to do with it. Don't 1984 me, bro. You know, that's what he meant. He said don't tase me because the tase is what was in his face. But meanwhile, it's always a Fourth Reich. And let's pretend for a minute that Chris Hedges ain't tell us. He didn't told us. He told us. He said y'all gonna have to mass dissent. I'm not even sure what we can talk about anymore. All I'm saying is I miss the Tiki Torch Nazis. At least they was peaceful. They was peaceful, had them Walmart Tiki Torches, man. They were out there. They just wanted the right to speak. And they had a right to. Oh, no, we got scared of them. So, oh, no, we got to give more power to the state to protect us from the Tiki Torch Nazis. So we're going to go to the Fourth Reich to protect us. And now you're looking around, you're like, yeah, this don't feel so good, do it? Mm-hmm. That's how it goes. Don't ever let nobody turn you against other poor people who have a gripe against the system, and the system does nothing but create gripes for profit. Whew. Good morning, everybody. Oh, Brother Daniel, no mandatory. I can't even say the word. Well, Daniel, you know, hey, I was talking to who was I talking to this morning? I was talking to Sister Linda this morning. She said, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know what everybody else is going to do. I personally, I'm a part of an ecosystem. I'm going to continue to eco in the system. I'm a biological creature, and I'm going to continue to go the directions of biologics. I'm not going to go the synthetic path. So I feel like the human race is diverting. You got people who think they're not biological, who never looked in a microscope. Never looked in a microscope. I don't understand that. Like, you just can't stay calm, look in the microscope. Look in the microscope, it's going to answer every question. Just take a little piece of your skin, take your spit. You can take anything you want from yourself. You take a little juice from your eye. Go ahead and put it on that thing and see what happens. Go outside, get the dirt. Better yet, vacuum that carpet And when you're done, take a little piece of that, put it in a little test tube, and shake it up with a little bit of water, not chlorinated water, not chlorinated water. That'll kill all the billions of creatures that you need to see. I'm a biological human. I ain't going the direction of synthetic human. I think y'all can keep going the Harkonnen direction. I think it's kind of pointless. I think if you've ever looked in a microscope, a significantly powered one, you understand that you ain't protecting yourself from your ecosystem. You can't hide from yourself. Did Bob Marley say that? You can't run away from yourself. You're running and you're running and you're running away. You're masking and shut down and you cray. But you can't run away from yourself. No, you can't run away from yourself. You are an ecosystem. What happened to all my fun stuff? They took my animations down. I didn't say nothing. I literally did not say nothing. I didn't say anything wrong, Facebook. They didn't took my animations off. Oh, let me try to turn that back on. Y'all leave me alone. I didn't say nothing. I ain't gonna talk about y'all Fourth Rikers. I think that long as you got the consent, you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. I think they want power and money like everything else. They're saying the world's billionaires got a big hike from the shutdown. And the way my mind works, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in you coincidentally making billions of dollars. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen a poor man accidentally make thousands of dollars. So I don't believe it's billionaires that accidentally mess up, trip, fall, slip. The world's governments agree to something and they make billions of dollars on accident. That doesn't happen. I've never seen it happen. No, take that back. Let me be honest. It could happen. It could all be an accident. It could be a total accident that they just made billions of dollars on locking people up in their houses. It's not how my mind works. Not how my mind works. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? We ready to go. I got this, press that, smack that, flip that, up that, rub it that. Oh no! I ate the Tiki torch. Nazi's kind of sexy, man. Now we see these laws coming down. Oh, the Tiki torch Nazis looking sexy. Who is Vermont got a law? You want them back? Shoot, I elect them. I would vote for them 10 times over before I'd vote for the people y'all want me to vote for in 2020. I live in Tiki torch Nazi community, thank God. Yeah, hey Trisha, listen. I agree with people who just want to speak, Trisha. I will agree 8 times with people who just want to take us from tiki torches at the Walmart, Target, wherever you get them from now. Get out there in the street and you just got to let people know how upset you are. I agree with them. I agree with free speech all the time. If you're a nurse, a doctor, and something ain't going right, you need to say what you got to say. If you're a minority or somebody in a ghetto, a trailer park, you got something that you got to gripe on, it's my job and obligation as a part of the ecosystem to shut the hell up and listen to what you got to say. Speaking of shut the hell up and listen to what you got to say, now the domestic violence numbers are coming in. I don't know all the specifics. I really don't trust statistics, but I trust common sense-istics. And domestic violence is on the rise, as we said it would. Why? Because you're locking people indoors with abusive people who were raised to be abusive in abuse, Hunger Games, Fight Club nation. Whole bunch of them. America ain't the only one. A lot of others following after them out. So now those numbers are coming in. I saw a 20% hike. So not only the billionaires are making money, but the psychopaths and abusers too. Who do you think designed all of this? Who do you think designed all of this? So now that's coming in. We had a great little discussion on it. Say, well, yeah, but abusive people are just abusive people. They're going to abuse even if we weren't on lockdown. Yeah, I know, but now they got a captive customer. Now they got a captive customer. Now they got somebody who can't go anywhere. And I'm not going to tell you that I know a lot. And to be honest with you, I won't even agree with anybody who says they know a lot about domestic violence. But I am going to say, there's a few people I've helped because I am a human being and I eco in the system and somebody needs my help and I got something I can help them. I'm going to help them. Sometimes that might be a muscle or two. Sometimes that might be a place to stay. Sometimes it's a bite of food. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And a few people I've helped who are in those abusive situations, and I'll be honest with you, the majority, I'm not even sure if I even helped because it was only temporary. You need a place to stay for a day, a night, or whatever, you know, because somebody was drinking too much or whatever. And that's another thing about the liquor stores being open, contributing to this nonsense. But sometimes people just need to get away. They don't want to be a captive customer to what somebody's advertising in the form of a fist. I'm calling this the privileged lockdown. Like, I'm so sick of this. I am so sick of all of this nonsense. And why does it exist? It exists for the same reason that we got all the other problems. We consented to this. We've consented and we've decided we don't want free will. We don't want to be free human beings. We want the Caesars to decide it all. We consent to it. My God, Puff Daddy just did a video just 5 minutes ago. It was 5 minutes. Well, I saw 5 minutes ago, where he's trying to tell people we're going to take the vote. And I'm just like, y'all, you listen, doesn't matter what color your skin color is. You a billionaire, you agree with the system. All right? Tell people, oh, well, we're going to have to make sure we make the right decisions, and we're going to obstruct the vote if we need to. We're going to tell them what we demand. If Biden doesn't do what we want, I hijack the vote if I got to. I'm just sitting there watching this man. The shame is people believe it. That's the shame, is people believe the nonsense. Like, oh no, if you are close to in the club, because Puff Daddy ain't in the club, ain't none of these billionaires, very few of the billionaires in the club. The club is a big club. It's a very small club, but it's a big club in terms of power, and they ain't in it. But he gonna follow the rules. Why? Because he got that $1 billion. If people who got $80,000 in the bank follow the rules and consenting and put the mad do it, they toast. You know what? I can't even talk about that. I'm sorry. I done went off the deep end. You start going that route, then you got to pull back. This is Fourth Reich world. You are not allowed to say certain things. All right, big tech giants. Oh, I got to show you something. Big tech giants own it all. If they don't agree with it, if it does not fill their coffers, it is a crime. I gotta show you this. Let me show you this. Who is this guy? And I gotta apologize ahead of time, because yesterday, I apologize. I told you from something from CNN. You're not supposed to give lies, criminals, war, mongering corporations a voice. But I had to show you the UFO videos, because free energy is at the basis of why they controlling all the monkeys. So anytime them UFOs appear, we got to talk about free energy, not the aliens. And I'm apologizing ahead of time because I got to show you a clip. And it comes from one of the other criminals, the other side of the criminal, pro-war, pro-colonization, pro-violence, anti-being a steward to the planet, pro-going the direction of becoming synthetic creatures or biological creatures, pretending we're synthetic, killing off all the microbiology in the world. I know it's obvious I'm in the garden. It's obvious I'm gardening now. I got my microscope out. I'm looking at the biological creatures in the soil, and it's not enough of them. It's supposed to be an ecosystem full of them, but stuff coming out the airplanes and in the air, in the water and everything. And I'm trying to figure out how in the world I'm gonna get this. I'm converting a whole field into a garden this year, and it's the biggest one I've ever done. So I'm trying to do it right. So we're biological creatures. But they're taking us a direction of antibiotics. And from my perspective, like I said before, I think we're diverging into different groups of ignorance, and some that just go along with science, ecosystem science. And I'm just going the way of the biotics, right? I think I'm biotic, and I think things that kill biotics are bad things. I have not bought Perel. I have not bought Lysol. I don't own no bleach. Ain't no bleach in my house nowhere, okay? Because I'm a biotic. I don't agree with anything antibiotic, and I'm going this direction of the community. If we end up on different continents, I'm going to end up on a continent where you can't sell anything antibiotic, antibacterial. I'd like to end up on a continent ain't nobody crazy enough, cray enough to buy something that's antibiotic and put it in their body, on their body, around their body, or anywhere in their house. You understand, you are a bacteria. The bacteria are keeping you alive. You learn from bacteria, you learn from viruses. If you get rid of these things, you will die, or you will be a slave owned to the people who own all the synthetic things that keep you barely alive. I gotta show you something. I said all that to greet you to watch some Fox News. I gotta watch Fox News. I gotta show you this. I've never watched anything by this man in my life. I've heard y'all talk about Tucker Carlson. I don't know who Tucker Carlson is. I don't believe in the colonizers, Babylonia. I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in watching these people. However, this was a very important broadcast by a gentleman by the name Tucker Carlson that I got to show you. Hey, it's got to show you this. Hang on, this is a guy selling something. I don't want to show that. Let his ad play out while I bring the screen up. I didn't greet nobody this morning. All right, well, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Hang on. Good morning. How your mama doing? All right, there we go. We're all done. Skip that ad. I don't care about that. Watch this.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Last night on this show, we played you a clip from a nearly hour-long video produced by two physicians in California, Doctors Dan Erickson and Artin Masihi.
I remember that.
Likely many of you had already seen it. That video has had more than 5 million views on YouTube. In their presentation, the two doctors presented a flurry of data pointing to what we are currently learning about this virus and how it spreads. They recited pages of government statistics and then interpreted them in light of their own long clinical experience as doctors. At one point, they noted that the newly adjusted death rate in their state of California, which is much lower than anyone expected it to be, and they asked if government officials there should change their policies based on this new science. Watch.
We've seen 1,227 deaths in the state of California with a possible incidence or prevalence of 4.7 million. That means you have a 0.03 chance of dying from COVID-19 in the state of California. 0.03 chance of dying from COVID in the state of California. Does that necessitate sheltering in place? Does that necessitate shutting down medical systems? Does that necessitate people being out of work?
Does that necessitate locking people in their homes in countries that people don't even have homes? Does that necessitate locking people down with domestic violence prone husband or wives or children? Does that necessitate taking all the real pandemics, the 20 or so that are above them? Well, it's not even 20 now, because it's 0.03% or 0.01%. Let's say it's 1%. Yeah. That still puts cancer, leukemia, ALS, it just puts it where everything is above that. Lung disease, everything is all the real pandemics, all the big pandemics, not real big. Because it is a pandemic. You kill 0.001%. It's a pandemic. It's just a itty bitty baby one. Right? All the big pandemics are profitable, right? So does it warrant that? You know, so here's a fun exercise. You post a doctor's video that's being banned by big tech. Go back on your timeline and see if it's there. Because I tell you one thing I've noticed, and this is not any platform specific. So don't act like I'm going after any one particular. Once again, if you are a corporation and you operate underneath a larger corporation called the United States Incorporated, they will treat everything underneath it like it's a commodity. They will be the holding company. They will treat Facebook exactly how they will. And Facebook and Google and YouTube will do exactly what they have to do to survive the same way a human being will. So this is not an anti-social media thing. We did this. We, not Facebook, not Zuckerberg. We did this. One thing I love doing is talking like an adult who's accountable for their own actions. I've consented to this. I voted for it. I'm just trying to change now. Now I see the world that I've built underneath the Fourth Reich while they have me worried about some damn Tiki torch Nazis out there at the Walmart late at night, trying to get ready for the rally. Because you know how people do at the last minute. If you've ever organized a protest, they wait till the last damn minute. They were out there in their slippers and robes like everybody else, trying to grab them some Tiki torch Nazis. Get out there and just tell you something. Now you're underneath a cabal with a Fourth Reich that just shifted from Nazi Germany right to your nation.
So whatever your view of the mass quarantines, and maybe you're enthusiastically for them, the questions you just heard are valid questions. In fact, they're critical questions.
Good critical questions. And for the record, if anybody's watching wants to tell on me, run to teach a tattletale, I don't have a position. I only have a position for me. I'm not trying to make up nobody else's mind. You do what the hell you feel you need to be doing. I have absolutely no position. There's no reason to ban me, throw me off, silence me, censor me. I'm not telling nobody nothing. My disclaimer is I'm 98% monkey, and unless it's technology or software, I ain't got no advice for you. You do what y'all need to listen to your doctors, okay? Listen to your doctor. Facebook, I'm telling you. I'm telling, ask your doctor. Ask your doctor. And if your doctor get thrown off of Facebook, you just need to question who your doctor is. My doctors, mostly y'all done killed most of them. My doctors were on those doctors list of the doctors you killed. I don't have many of them that made it. Dr. Sebi was one of them. A few other doctors, but I don't believe doctor is what I believe in the original definition of a doctor. A doctor is a healer. It is not a chemist, but there are chemists who doctor as well. Doctor to me means healer, but y'all need to listen to your doctor. Don't listen to me. Disclaimer, I don't know nothing. I am 98% monkey. Would you go in the jungle and ask the monkey what you should do? No, you should not.
Questions. We should all be asking those questions, including and especially our policymakers. But as Dr. Erickson pointed out later in the video, dissent of any kind is no longer tolerated in this country. Fact-based honesty, which is the soul of science, is under attack, even in hospitals. Dr. Erickson described physicians being pressured to classify illnesses and deaths as related to coronavirus, whether they believe that to be true or not.
Remember we talked about what science actually is? What science isn't done in a silo. It's not done in a deep state. It's not done in the dark where you do dirty things. It's all in the light. It's all peer review. Here's all of my data. Here's the experiment. This is what I did. Everybody gets input, peer review. Here's the summary. Now challenge the summary. That's what science is. Hiding information, silencing people and censoring them. That is not science. That is called something else. Science-ish. Corporate-ish. But if you control the data and the input and the international discussion of what the hell is going on, then this is not science. This is controlling the chips. This is not letting the chips fall where they may. It's not letting the chips fall on what's truthful. It's forcing the chips to fall into the spots you need them to fall because you're going to make billions of dollars if it happens, which I have to stop because now I'm being too honest. You be too honest, you get thrown off of these platforms again.
We aren't pressured to test for flu, but ER doctors now, my friends that I talk to say, you know, it's interesting, when I'm writing up my death report, I'm being pressured to add COVID. Why is that? Why are we being pressured to add COVID to maybe increase the numbers and make it look a little bit worse than it is?
Let me answer the question. I can't answer the question, but I'm gonna speculate on what the answer is. I'm gonna speculate because I'm not allowed to know nothing. They control everything. And if it's truthful, the video's gone within 24 minutes. Let me guess. Why? Let's say if I had something called the cuckoo virus. I was gonna make a lot of money curing the cuckoo virus. We're not talking about COVID. Anyone want to talk? We're not talking about COVID. We're talking about something I call the cuckoo virus, okay? I got the cuckoo virus and I got the cure. I'm gonna make money on the cuckoo virus. I can spread the cuckoo virus to all of the cuckoos and it's everywhere. I'm making money on the cure. But see, there's something called insurance companies, right? And they got this, what's called a cuckoo virus opt-out. Cuckoo virus line in your insurance policy. If you die of something called a cuckoo virus, they don't have to pay out. So they're gonna wanna do that. You've got medical device companies. Let's say they make something called a verticulator and they make money on the verticulators and selling them. Then you got those companies, those corporations that make money on selling the verticulator. So they want to pump the numbers. Why? Because it means they'll sell more country to country to country. Next flu season, they'll sell even more on the cuckoo virus. And so there's a whole thousands of companies probably make ticks and togs and transistors and things that go into verticulators, and they're gonna make money too. So why would doctors be pressured to push higher numbers for the cuckoo virus outside of the stimulus that somebody wrote some stimulus, which is communism, and they're all supposed to be capitalists in government, but this communism, anytime the corporations tell them to, is socialism, anytime the corporations tell them to. They got their money, they're crony capitalists, and what are they gonna do with that money? I have no idea. Buy an island, buy a nation, buy some more governments, but they want the money. And they get the money if it's more cuckoo virus cases. And so that's my speculation if something existed called the cuckoo virus, but we're not talking about the cuckoo virus because that's not real. If anybody wants to check if the cuckoo virus is real, I went to the website, it is not there. If you go to cuckoovirus.org, I can promise you nothing's gonna come up. It's complete fantasy. Everybody, this is entertainment. I'm just entertaining you, walking through fictitious ideas of what might be possible.
I think so.
So what you just heard, what Dr. Erickson described, is called lying. And lying has no place in science ever. It's scary to think it takes place on a large scale in hospitals. He says it does.
And why do people lie? Because there are consequences for the truth. I done got that from Ty Neftali. It makes perfectly good sense. People lie, corporations lie, media lies because it's profitable. Governments lie because they gain more power. People lie because there's consequences for telling the truth.
Viewers of Erickson's video were shocked and transfixed by this. They forwarded the video to friends who forwarded it on to their friends. And suddenly, millions of people who have spent the last 6 weeks on a diet of Tiger King and internet memes were watching sober-minded medical researchers reading from charts of statistics. It's hard to recall a science video taking off like this one did. Not everyone was impressed by it. Some criticized the doctor's policy conclusions. And of course, that's fair. Decent people have different opinions. We're not entirely certain what the perfect response to this pandemic is. Nobody is certain. There's no objective answer at the moment. At best, we can plod along with open minds and good faith. More informed debate is exactly what we need to make wise decisions going forward.
Ooh, can we relate that to the Tiki Torch Nazis? Because I got the Tiki Torches people here. Since I invited them, we might as well talk about them a little bit, right? So science when it comes to Tiki Torch Nazism, right? They get out on the street, they got something to say, let them say it. And then we get out on the street, we got something to say, we say it. The abused women get out on the street, they got something to say, they say it. The abused kids get out on the street, they got something to say, and we all listen. And you do the math and you do the science. You're taking data from all the sources and you realize somebody rolled out artificial scarcity laws that's creating more conflict and oppressed people on the planet that need to get tiki torches, get out there and have a hizzy fit. And then we say, well, who done did it? Right? That's peer review. We look at the science, we check the data, we look at the results. Wow, we're all being kept in conflict against each other. And who's actually doing that? Oh, well, somebody moved here from the Third Reich and they created a Fourth Reich. And now we're in this whole time of 1984 and being tased by 1984. That's called science. It's called listen to everybody. That's why we say that the only answer to hate speech, the bad speech, is more speech. Only answer to hate speech is to resolve where the hate's coming from. Resolve where the bad is coming from. Resolve where the abuse is coming from. That's called actually fixing problems. But of course, there are people who make profit on the problems, and they don't actually want to fix anything. This is why I'm saying y'all are nuts. I love y'all to death, but y'all are nutty as the day is long. When y'all go out there and start telling on people who say something you don't want to hear, that's why I don't, people like that, I love you, but I'm a little distant from you because there are people who need to speak because you didn't live through what they lived through. You don't have their perspective. You can change their perspective by changing their environment. And damn it, if not theirs, you can change it for their children. That's called being an adult. Instead of taking names for the Fourth Reich. Scared of Tiki Torch Nazis while cheering the Nazis in 2020. It boggles my mind when anybody's talking about 2020. All of these people in line, all the world's governments in line. It's not even an American thing. Britain lining up with America with their new law, syncing up with NDAA. They own everything. Own everything in your house. Own your car, your drawers, your panties, your essential oils, your chickens, your crops, everything. And they'll come in and take it anytime. Listen, I tell you, I'm not the one. You got a lot of ones, I'm not the one. You got a lot of ones, that's not me. Ones, not me. Okay? Sister Linda asked me, well, what do we do? Well, most times, except that these things are tests, when they start rolling out laws like they own you, like you're their commodity, they just want to see if you agree. That's all. They just want to see if you'll consent and go along with it. I don't consent and go along with anything. I am the most obstinate bastard I know, but I know that I'm not here, okay? You will not be taking anything of mine. That's not going to happen. You will not be putting any of your products in me. I'm a biological creature with free will. And yes, that's a religious thing. That's why the Muslim religion they call terrorist, but the Christian religion ain't far from it. Why? Because I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. All right. I'm biological. You will not be putting your laboratory products in me. It is not going to happen. That's what you got to do. If 0.0, how many people died of cuckoo virus? 0.01%. if that percentage of people actually stood up, it doesn't take 10%. Remember how they said it takes 10% of people to start a love revolution. Love revolution, not violent revolution, love revolution. Oh, it don't even take that. Take a whole lot less. They need people to go along to get along. They need to slap you in your head. You need to slap happy. Y'all remember slap happy? Stepping and fetching. That's what they need. They need you stepping and fetching when they say something. I don't step, nor do I fetch. Now for these billionaire blacks or the white ones or any of them, I don't give two damns about none of them. I'm living my life free as a free sentient creature. And the minute you oppose that freedom, you and I are going to have a bad day. And I might have a worse day, but I really don't care. As long as I exist on this planet, I'm going to have my free will that my God done gave me, which is not in heaven, but within me and everybody else, which is heaven possibly. Okay? That's fine. What do we do? Well, you know, you stop consenting. That's the first thing. If you know your consent caused all of this, right? This criminal, unscience-ish environment time where you can't even say that something's bothering you, then you stop consenting. If consent called it, then you stop consenting. I don't consent. I don't consent to nothing. I don't consent. I go along with things sometimes. I weigh risk. But I can tell you where I'm gonna stop. And I'm not gonna say it again because they're gonna pull the video down.
Unfortunately for all of us, informed debate is exactly what the authorities don't want. They want unquestioned obedience, so they're cracking down on free expression. Last night, the doctor's video, the one you just saw, was pulled off of YouTube, the largest video hosting site in the world. It wasn't an accident. YouTube admitted doing it. The company cited a violation of, quote, community guidelines, and they did not apologize. Looking back when all...
And they shouldn't. No, I'm standing in solidarity with YouTube. I don't want them pulling my channel down over there. No, YouTube, y'all did the right thing. I'm in solidarity with you. Who owns YouTube? YouTube, Mark Zuckerberg. Y'all are doing a good job. You're within a conflict-based society where all the citizens consent to you not being able to run a free business. So you're supposed to lock down on the monkeys, unscience-ish like. Yeah, you're supposed to do it. I'm on their side. I know it's going to be unpopular. I don't really care what you think. I don't care what the fourth right think, and I don't care what you little monkey commodities think neither. This is a system. I am a systems analyst. That's why with me, everything is fight the system. Look at the economics, resolve the problem at the root level. Do not complain about the side effects. Mark Zuckerberg is a side effect. Facebook is a side effect. Facebook jail is a side effect. Google censoring and deleting channels is all a side effect of our ignorance. We either resolve that problem in the mirror like adults, or we accept all the side effects. But don't fight the side effects. You're going to waste your time. You're wasting all of your time and everybody else's. Yes, I did steal that line from Ty Neptali as well. Wasting everybody's time. When Ty told me I was wasting everybody's time. You know, you fix the system, but you stop complaining about the side effects that you caused. You ate the Twinkie, you don't get to complain about a tummy ache. You ate the okra, now you got things squirting out your butt, you don't get to complain about that. Yesterday, I was out there working, and I had to walk through the woods a little bit. I had ticks on me. I didn't blame nobody for ticks on me. I came in the house and I looked at the tick. I was like, oh, it's a tick, and I took a picture of it. And I looked, just to send it to my friends on the internet. Like, you know, in the Great Depression, we might be eating bugs again. I was like, we made like tick tandoori out of this thing right here. We had enough of them, you know, because the greatest depression is on its way. And but I didn't blame anybody. Oh, the darn ticks, we need to spray the woods. No, I walked through the woods. Okay, you know, the good thing is I wore my boots, so it didn't get on my skin. It was crawling all up on me. You know, but you know, that's what an adult does. An adult doesn't participate in something and blame somebody else, right? You know, don't blame nature for being nature. The tick, what does the tick want? The tick was the same thing Facebook want, the same thing Google want the same thing Cameron want, Glenn, Jonathan, Lana, Beaufont, and Jimmy, and Desiree. That's what the tick wants. The tick wants some energy. Why am I going to be mad at the tick? Why? Somebody tell me. Walking out on, why am I be mad at Fox News? Why am I be mad at Tucker Carlson? Why am I be mad at any of this? Huh? Why am I gonna be mad at the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and New World Order and CDC and WHO, Doctor Who? I ain't mad at none of them. They're doing all what they're doing what the tick is doing. They got some energy. Somebody stupid enough to be walking in the woods. Yeah, the monkey could have walked around the woods. I was tired, man. I'm tired. It's early in the spring. I'm digging holes and putting in aquaponic systems. I cut through the woods, right? And the tick, oh, we see him coming. Look at that stupid fool. Oh, he looked delicious too. He done got that juice in him called blood, and if I don't get none of that, I'm gonna die. What do you think will happen if the World Health Organization doesn't get your juice? What do you think will happen if the CDC don't get some juice from you? What happens if the world's cabals and cults that run everything don't get some juice from you? What happens to them if the Democrats and Republicans don't get some juice from you? If they don't get their pound of flesh, they die. The tick is doing what it's supposed to do, so are these corporations. As an adult, you look in the mirror, you see what you did wrong, and you fix what you did wrong. You stop worrying about Tiki torch Nazis and everybody else. Y'all see how that work together? You're in an ecosystem, everything's competing for energy. Don't blame them for competing for energy in an ecosystem that you choose to not change, and make sure everything has what it needs.
All of this is finally over, and it will be. It's likely we'll see this moment, what YouTube just did, as a turning point in the way we live in this country, a sharp break with 250 years of law and custom. The two doctors' video was produced by a local television channel in California. It was, in effect, a mainstream news story. The video was not pornographic, it didn't violate copyright or incite violence or commit libel, it didn't break any law. The only justification for taking it down was that the two physicians on screen had reached different conclusions from the people currently in charge. It was a form of dissent from orthodoxy.
And let me clarify, it's not pornographic yet. Yet. It will be pornographic. And that's why YouTube took it down. They should have took it down. Because there's a man around here, I think he might be named Beaufont. He like to take pictures of people and put them in pornographic situations. Okay? I'm sure he'll take those doctors and he'll make a meme out of it. Right? I'm sorry. That was a hit on Beaufont.
YouTube and its parent company, Google, have now officially banned dissent. The CEO of YouTube admitted that openly.
They said it.
But then we also talk about removing information that is problematic. You know, of course, anything that is medically unsubstantiated. So people saying like, take vitamin C, take turmeric, like those all will cure you.
I like words like medically unsubstantiated. Let me ask y'all a question. Is anything medical substantiated? I love words. You know what? I know I'm gonna let the lady talk. This is what I do. The few times that I watch y'all monkey news, that y'all believe, that y'all always listen to, the few times I watch it, because sometimes you got the need to know what the gorillas is up to. I watch it and I have words in my mind. Substantiated, medical substantiated. What does that mean? Is anything substantiated in 7 billion different people whose bodies work in 7 billion different ways in a chaotic universe where we don't understand nothing because we still 98% monkeys fighting over for bananas? Ain't nothing medical substantiated. Nothing. Zero. And if it is today, it won't be tomorrow. If it is now, probably not in the other universe. Quantum physics come in and say, we don't even know what water is. We don't even know what. So tell me what substantiated. We know how to use water. Okay, we know how to use water, as Sage Guru says, but we don't even know what water is. So what is medically substantiated? It means they can shut you up for anything. You believe in scriptures. Tony here, he gets thrown out because he believes in scriptures. Christine, she talking about gardening, they throw her off the internet. They can throw you off of anything. Jimmy, I think he was a Bernie bro. They can throw him off of that. Then it's just like, oh, they're censoring me. No, they're censoring everyone. Everyone. Okay, that's how this works. That's why Puff Daddy is on the TV trying to rally up the black folk. Get together. We gonna stop the Biden. There's nobody in Hollywood that's not a criminal. They're all politicians. I said that the other day. Everybody in Hollywood's a politician. All of them. They're just very entertaining politicians. Okay, they're politicians that know how to dance, sing, tell jokes, get on the screen and blow up things. That's all they are. They're all politicians. They're all advertising. They're all advertising because they're ticks. Ticks need a pound of flesh. They need that juice. They need the blood. They need the energy. So they're doing what they're supposed to do too. I ain't mad at Puff Daddy. We built the world where we got Puff Daddies while people live under cages in New York City. We got a world where we got Bill Gates. We built this world. We consented to the world. So I ain't even mad at them. But I don't lie to myself of who they are. I don't lie to myself about this lady right here. I don't lie to myself about what television is, right? I just look at it for what it is. There's nothing substantiated. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. But what they just told you is they have the right to delete anything they want to, and they will. And they should. Not in the perfect world, right? But in monkey world, yeah, monkey consent world, yeah, because we're still in conflict with one another. And as long as we're in conflict with one another, and whites fighting the blacks, and religions fighting the religions, and nations fighting the nations, then they're going to fight for their profit too. They're going to do exactly what they're told. The state tells them what to do, just like the people in Hollywood. And because what's the name of that dude that hate Aborigine women? He's okay. He's allowed to be racist because he's black. He's got black skin. He hates Aborigine women. What's his name? I can't stand that man. I do. I agree with him though. I don't agree on the Aboriginal women. I agree that he is being the best from the dead. Wasn't it? He's from the Daily News. Wasn't the Daily Joke site? Daily something. Trevor Noah, that's his name. Trevor Noah. He's being the best Trevor can be, lying and making jokes and things to get y'all to agree and go along with the Fourth Reich. That's why they put him on TV with Bill Gates. Why? Because same reason they did Puff Daddy. Same reason this lady is here. We keep these conflict-based systems alive. That's why UFOs are important. That's the only reason. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason everybody's in conflict, because energy ain't free. And we know energy's been free from creation. Free from creation. So I ain't mad at her. I don't like what she's saying. I ain't mad at her, but I don't like what she's saying. Right? But she's saying what she's supposed to say in a conflict-based world where the Fourth Reich gives them the ability to have a profit-based business, and they got 100,000 employees that eat off of them having a business. I don't blame them. I don't have any blame to go around.
Those are the examples of things that would be a violation of our policy. Anything that would go against World Health Organization recommendations would be a violation of our policy. And so remove is another really important part of our policy.
So you're not just putting the truth next to the lie.
I'm Joanne Jenkins with AARP.
Aww.
The coronavirus continues to...
Oh, I love these commercials. Do y'all watch these commercials? Oh, I love it. I hate them, but I love it. I hate it. I know what she's going to say. I know because AARP loves you. They care about you. They want you to be healthy. They want to take care of you. Nothing makes big corporations create billions of commercials to tell people how much they love them. People they've been abusing for thousands or hundreds of years. Decades. Like getting that communism stimulus check, $2 trillion. I have not been felt so loved by Pepsi Cola and Hershey Bar and Monsanto and Bayer and all the pharmaceutical industry. Everybody loves us now. That's all they need. They just needed a government that cared more about them than us, to write them a $2 trillion check and give everybody else tax credits. This is the commercial I'm talking about. I see these all day and I watch them. It makes you feel good. It's like positive reinforcement when you watch the commercial about how much the corporations love you. Watch this. This is, if y'all ain't in America, this is what we see in America every day, all day long, no matter what Tiger King to anything else you want to watch. All you see is about how much these corporations love Americans for being stupid as hell.
affect us all, and we are here, actively supporting you and your community. Every day, we're providing trusted information from top health experts, sharing tools to help protect families from fraud, and creating resources to support family caregivers everywhere. As always, you can count on AARP to advocate for you and your family. Join us and stay connected at aarp.org/coronavirus.
We're all going through it together.
As a
I
family,
just so entertained. I post stuff. I gotta tell you something before we see this next message from our next sponsor, because I didn't click skip ad, so it. I laugh about this stuff all day. The sister was mad at me. I don't think she was mad. She just said, "It's not funny. This isn't funny." I'm gonna tell y'all why I find this stuff funny. I know I try really hard to not laugh. I do. I honestly, I want y'all to take me seriously, but it's so hard. How do you take any of this? I don't know how y'all do. I can't even talk about taking this seriously, and it just, I've been watching it for so long. I've been watching this for so long. A lot of my friends here, we've been watching it, and after a while, it's not scary anymore. After it doesn't scare you. The Fourth Reich doesn't scare you. Them trying to come into your door with your cure, and you want to shoot it in your family's arms and take you and take everything. After a while, it doesn't scare you. You just look at it like, yep, we gonna die. We all gonna die. Every last one of us. They gonna kill all of us, and all that microbiology and the microscope gonna come back, and they're gonna create a balanced world with beautiful creatures. Not us. Not us at all. I can't stop laughing about it because it's in your face. It's in your face. They don't even hide it. You know, they don't even hide. And then there's black humor, and I don't know if this is black humor or dark comedy, but like they literally told you that they're going to take over the world. They haven't hidden any of that from anybody. It's just so hard not to laugh at it. For me, it's just mostly entertainment. I just watch it.
Gerhardt's Appliances knows that slowing down has a way of bringing things into focus.
Oh, Gerhardt, they don't love us. Let's skip that. They don't love us. They didn't get a $2 trillion check. They are probably a middle-class corporation who literally got to fight to survive while the government gives $2 trillion to their favorite friends. That's why that commercial is not about loving us. That commercial was about we need to buy some sinks and some refrigerators and some faucets and things because they're gonna have to fight to stay alive. They're going to have to pull a Rocky in cronyism. Crony.
Down. That's a pretty aggressive approach.
Yes, because that's cronyism too.
Removing, quote, anything that would go against World Health Organization recommendations. It'll now be taken off the internet. Consider that for a minute. As a matter just of...
Oh, hang on. I didn't look at the comments. It's saw a couple months. Well, it's funny because it's true. It is. Who's that? Boy, Khan. I like that name. Boy, Khan. Boy, that's my boy. That's my boy. I love that name. Boy. That's how we used to talk when we were kids. It's funny because it's true. And they told us. So nobody should be surprised. If you're actually paying attention as an adult and you weren't stupid enough to trust the damn television, they call it the boob tube the last generation. It's the boob tube this generation. You believe it, then something wrong with you. That's the only people taking all this seriously and they're scared and upset and hiding from bacteria outside and got bacteria all in their mask and on their lips, on their nose, eyes, landing on their head from the air and the dust. And fake news, Jimmy, they got sloppy and got caught. I don't think so. I know who's that, Jack? I don't think so, Brother Jack. Brother Jack and I agree 99.9999% of the time. I don't think they got sloppy and got caught. Jack, I honestly think they don't even care. I don't think they care. I don't know. I think the highest ups, like at the global level, I don't even think they care anymore. They have such technology, they're so advanced beyond us, they just don't really care. I think maybe at like the nation level, the nation slave level, the politician slave level, maybe they're getting a little sloppy, maybe, but the high ups, they don't care. The global cult that runs everything, they couldn't give two dams. They own it all. They can shut it all down. They lived a great life. They own islands and continents and blown up the nations they needed to, stolen the resources they got to, and they don't care if they die. They lived a great life. We gave them a great life. We turned every child into a debt commodity at birth. They had a fantastic life. They have not lifted a pinky in their lives. So they're ready to end the world. I don't think they got sloppy. I think they just don't care no more. That's what I think.
Science. It's ludicrous. Like everyone else involved in global pandemic policy, the WHO has often been wrong in its recommendations. A lot of people have. In mid-January, WHO told us that coronavirus could not spread from person to person. In March, they told us that face masks didn't work. Those were lies, and they were welcome on Google's platforms. Doctors who are actually treating patients with the virus, meanwhile, have just been banned. So no, this is not about science. Censorship never is about science. It's about power. Big technology companies are using this tragedy to increase their power over the American population.
Which is true, and that's why Fox News does it too. I'm sorry, I watched this for 5 minutes and it's getting to me. I like the truth and the source does not matter, but Fox News does it too, and I don't blame them. It's energy. They censor truthful information to produce narratives the way they need to for their audience so people will watch, so they can sell ads, so they can make money too. That's just how it all works, you know? That's why it's funny. That's why it's funny, because it's all sides, all groups. As soon as you group up with something, you're ignorant because they keep information from you. It's just on this particular article, this particular piece of information, Fox News is actually telling you what's true. And did China buy YouTube, Jimmy? I don't know if China bought YouTube, but it makes sense. Remember I was saying, remember when this was happening? When did this happen? January, February, everybody was all upset in America. We gotta stop China, they're hurting their people. We gotta help China. Oh, they're just horrible. And I was just like, y'all calm down. China does not have a police state. Calm down. China, they got a tyrant and they're rough on their people. But they do not have an evolved, highly technological police state. You don't have to worry about what's happening in China. It's coming home. Remember I said that? I hate being right, but you know what? I've seen this episode before. It was a different show. It wasn't Monkeys in America and Monkeys on Earth. It was a different show, but it's the same episode. It plays out the same way. So don't worry about China. Now you got drones that they got the heat map facing. They got the drones that fly over that China gave. Who did they give? Was it Boston? Massachusetts, Vermont, one of them northern states. They got that tech. China said, here's our technology. You're trying to adopt our model? Here you go. We own YouTube. Here you go. You know, and it's like, you don't have to worry about them. Government wants power, period. Power, that's their job. It's not bad, it's just what they are, right? Corporations want money. They're not bad, it's just what they are. If you build a world where the Rothschilds and Rockefellers set it up, so money and power are at the top of every government, you can expect pretty much nothing to go your way. Nothing, not a damn thing. Nothing for your kids, nothing for your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews. It's never going to go your way. They'll always give you a little something to keep you believing, but it's never going to go your way. So yeah, you don't have to worry about China. We got the highly evolved police state. China, I go on ledge. Y'all got that China racism thing going. Listen, the Chinese government gives more damns about their citizens, I know, than mine give about me. All right, I know this because in China, there's slaves. Slaves get universal health care. Slaves get houses. Slaves need fresh water. Slaves need things so they can keep working. Okay, that's a plantation. China is a plantation. We are not a plantation. We are literally the house of pain, okay? China got a government. We got a corporation. Once again, we are not slaves. I've said that and I've changed my mind. Corporations don't own slaves. They own commodities. You don't get free health care. You don't get to own land. You don't get to own your house. You don't get to, they can take anything they want anytime they want to do it. So don't worry about China. Don't even worry about it. Every time they get to China, I just turn it off because I realize it's one side trying to get me to focus on the second Reich or Reich 1.2, the Tiki people with the Tiki torches. Don't worry about the people with Tiki torches. Worry about the Fourth Reich that's burning down entire nations. That's what you want to focus on so they can give you some nice things because it works for their commodities at that moment in time until they wipe us all out because the robots work better.
They're working in concert with politicians in order to do it. Just today, Facebook removed an events page for a political protest in Michigan. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who runs that state, was no doubt pleased to see it. Grossly mismanaging an entire state is a lot easier when citizens are not allowed to complain about it, and now they're not. Last week, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg explained that protests like these are no longer protected political speech. They're, quote, misinformation.
How do you deal with the fact that Facebook is now being used to organize a lot of these protests to defy social distancing, defy the social distancing guidelines in states? Is somebody trying to organize something like that, does that qualify as harmful information?
We do classify that as harmful misinformation, and we take that down.
Harmful to who is always a great question. Anytime I like the word harm. I love the word harm. I got to be careful what I say. Harmful to profits, harmful to bank accounts, harmful to people physically, harmful to abused women being locked in the house with their abuse, harmful to homelessness who just jump around because they try to kind of sort of get a house to live in, but they can't get a house to live in at times with the people with privileges who have homes, who have a stay-at-home law. Yeah, we do a lot of harm. Harmful to the kids who can't get surgery because the surgeries were stopped so that we could worry about cuckoo virus. There's a lot of harm going around. That's why I don't, again, I'm not mad at Mark Zuckerberg. Every time you put me in Facebook jail, I should have gone. Damn it, I should know better. It's Fight Club. What's the one rule of Fight Club? Look at that. There's an ant on me right now. Y'all see this? Let me show you this ant. Oh, you still got ants in your house? You ain't get rid of it. Look how big them ants are. Look at that joker. You know what I'm saying? He's a part of the ecosystem. He's just trying to eat. You thought I was playing. Nah. You didn't kill the ant. You didn't step on it. I'm not at war with ants. I'm not at war with ants. I'm not at war with viruses. I'm not at war with pests. That ant has a job to do, okay? The ants keep the spiders at bay. Remember I said everything's an ecosystem? Don't worry about Tiki torch Nazis. One day, I believed in y'all system. I trusted TV. I was a boob because I watched the tube. And I got a bunch of ant spray, the ant traps, and I put the ant traps down, and I sprayed all the pesticide in my house. The pesticides that are now linked to autism, but let's not go there. It killed off all the ants. I had spiders everywhere. They was crawling from the ceiling, dropping down. I live in an old country house. I don't live in y'all privileged houses where you got it all locked up with all the plastic toxic, creating all the diseases it can in your body because your house is off gassing. My house is open. Everything comes in. And I need a balance. I need a balanced ecosystem. When I was down in Belize, damn it, the gecko was on the walls like, what the hell is that? By the second night, I was thanking Lord, thank you, Jesus, for the gecko. Please, thank you. We need some more lizards in here. I need them. Just let them jump on me. Eat all of these damn bugs. They got bugs down there in tropical countries. They don't even look like bugs. They look like aliens mixed up with a Monsanto geoengineered scientific dinosaur DNA alteration. I was happy for them. Everything's an ecosystem, right? Tiki torch Nazis, they're just there to let me know something. Mark Zuckerberg, he's just there to let me know something. Tucker Carlson, he's there letting me know something. Fox News is letting me know something. Am I changing my behavior for what I'm learning, for what they're telling me? That ant was just trying to tell me something. It's warm, it's springtime. There's food in here, dummy. You just ate what I ate, a cherry pie? Y'all can't see. You ate a cherry pie. You left it on the counter. The ant's trying to tell me something. Remember I said look in the mirror? It's funny how all this works together. It always just kind of comes together in that way. Like, yeah, no, dummy, you eat cherry pie. Sometimes you eat apple pie. Because sometimes at night after dinner you want to have a little love and loving in your belly because you eat organic. So you can't eat cherry pie at night because nobody's paying for your health care. You're paying for it because you grow food and you put it in your mouth. You don't go to the Walmart and get your food. But dummy, you leave it on the counter. Long as it's more delicious, sugary foods in here in plates that you don't take up at nighttime because you leave on the counter, we gonna be in your house. You know, and you better be happy we're here. Be happy we're here. You don't finish a plate, soon you're gonna have Americans in your house. Because the Americans are being starved right now. So I'm listening to the ant. I blew him on the floor and he's gonna walk away and I'm gonna change my behavior. I'm gonna look in the mirror and do what Michael Jackson told you. What did Michael Jackson do? It's the man in the mirror. And how does that song go? I'm 29. Sometimes I forget these songs. Something about trust the man in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror. Blame the man or the woman in the mirror. Look at the monkey in the mirror. Something like that. I forget. Let's watch the rest of Tucker Carlson telling y'all the information. Did y'all think I was going to be against Tucker Carlson and Fox? I ain't against nobody. I'm against the system. If you notice with me, is there's always one consistent theme. I'm going to be an adult. I'm going to see how I contribute to the problem, and I'm going to change my behavior, and I ain't going to worry about nobody else. That's why I don't block people. I don't delete people. I ain't even worry about none of that stuff. I got too many things to change in me. If we don't fix the system, we should go extinct. If we don't alter the system, we should go extinct. That's what we deserve. It's rightful and it's just. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Harmful misinformation. That is a phrase familiar to anyone who has watched totalitarian regimes in any country. It's now how Mark Zuckerberg describes political opinions he doesn't like. Our free press exists to push back against obvious abuses of power like this one. It's the reason we...
Zuckerberg. I'm on his side. I'm on his side all day. Zuckerberg. The more you punish the monkey, Zuckerberg, the more they're going to wake up. Punish him. Sometimes take a tragedy, bring a family together. Go on, Zuckerberg. I'm not against him. I think the harder he brings down the pain, the less people want to trust the tube and be-boos. Zuckerberg.
We have a First Amendment. It's the only reason we have a First Amendment. But suddenly our media are not concerned about freedom of speech. Reporters applaud our overlords as they punish us for disagreeing. You just saw it in that...
Oh, shut up. I love you, Tucker Carlson. I don't even know you. But you applaud the overlords, too. You just applaud a certain side of them. And the other people applaud the other side of them. And the other people got the 2020s that they want to vote for. They applaud to back the rest of them. So let's just be honest. Everybody here, even I do. I go to the Walmart every now and then. I might buy something. What am I doing? I'm helping the overlords. That's what I'm saying. Nobody can judge. I got a bank account, which means I'm helping certain bank overlords. I paid my taxes, which means I'm helping colonize, destroy, debilitate, and blow up other nations and abuse women in my country. I just believe in standing up for people, all right? And the system and changing my behavior. That's called being an adult to me.
Clip from CNN. That happens every day. Our media are no longer challenging power. They are colluding with power. And that may be why there's been so little critical coverage of the massive expansion of our surveillance state currently in progress.
And why is that? Because the system requires collusion. Period. That's why I say you want to know somebody talking the truth, you can find them easily. Just get in your car if you're not afraid of your lockdown and you go, you can't tell people to leave the house, so don't get in your car. You can't do that. Ty got thrown off of Facebook for that. You are not going to get me in that trap. Stay in your house. Stay in your house. Go on Google Earth. And anytime you get on Google Earth and stay safe at home, and you find little line dots anywhere that's lined up and you see flags and flowers and green grass and one little central area and a gate that goes all around it, it's called a cemetery. All right, you want to know who people who speak the truth, who don't collude with the system? That's where they are. All the stewards of the planet, they put in the planet. Okay, that's what they've always done. I grew up in the church. I believe in being a steward to the planet. I believe in being a steward to the species and a steward to everybody. And if you steward and you are in a nation that kills stewards, It doesn't take long for you to do the math. If I ever get good at stewarding, if I ever get good at running this mouth thing, you can come visit me, and it will not be on Facebook. It will not be on YouTube at 10 a.m. in the morning, roughly around that time, depending on when I went to sleep and what I ate and what's going on, what I got to do in the garden. I will be in the cemetery. You can come meet me, come find me, but that's okay. That's my job. That's my job. The job is to be a steward, and ain't nothing safe about being a steward in a nation that kills stewards all day long. JFK, Robert F. K, Martin Luther K, all of them, all the Ks. It's the theory that don't ever have a last name with a K. If your last name is a K, you need to go along with the criminal establishment, because you're going to be the first they put in the ground. Ooh, somebody tell me. I asked the brother to send me. Somebody said JFK Jr. is alive. Is that true? Somebody tell me. I'm always, I love theories. I will look at a conspiracy theory 10 times and study it before I watch some damn Fox News, MSNBC, CBS, NBC, CBO, WHO, CDC, Bill Gates, any of that nonsense, any of the fake world. Before I look at the fake world, I will look at a prospective theory about the real world. Somebody said that he wants to run and he wants to put Pence out the way and he wants to run with Trump. Is that true? Somebody post me a link. Give me something. I need something to go on. I need something important so I can try to figure out what's real in the world. So let's finish this up. What did I say? End out on the K's, stewards of the planet. Right. We murdered the stewards. That's why Dr. Sebi is no longer here. He was actually helping the monkeys. Ooh, hang on. Gabrielle done said something I forgot I got to touch on. Gabrielle talking about Dr. Buttar. Dr. Buttar prefaced his interview with London Real by stating, "I am not suicidal," which is why, Gabrielle, I have not said that in a minute. I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. I love life. Y'all see me laughing all day long. That's all. He just always laughing. I am not going to suicide myself, not going to hang myself, not going to give myself foot cancer. That's the CIA, okay, because they killed the stewards. I am not suicidal at all. I am happy. I am fantastic. I can't wait to live life. I'm growing food, planting seeds. If I don't make it, it's because I had don't make it help. It's because I finally got good at what the Democrats and the Republicans keep voting to put in the cemeteries. I got to speak on that for a second, Gabrielle. So I got concerns. I told y'all listen to Dr. Shiva, and I'm still saying listen to Dr. Shiva. I love Dr. Shiva. He is a system engineer. He's got a system mind. He's figured out parts of the system that only engineers can see. And I love his information. I was not too happy with him running for anything, but that's okay. That's him. That's how he thinks he's going to solve problems. I do at this point in time have a little bit of a tizzy. He, I guess in his last video, he turned on Dr. Buttar. He turned on Del Bigtree. He turned on Robert F. Kennedy. He said that they were all in bed with the Clintons and synthetic world or whatever. I don't know. One of two things. One, that's either very concerning. Right? People who start to figure out this system, a systems engineer would know at the system level that we all have to work together, that you have a common foe. You can't turn on each other. Apparently they had a conversation and something didn't go right. However, so one, either Walter, where Walter at? Where Walter, the CIA at? The CIA! Either brother Walter's right, but it doesn't matter, because even the CIA says what's right, true. They say what's true too. The CIA is full of a lot of good people, like the hospitals, like the pharmaceutical industry, like the chemical industry, like big agribusiness. They're all full of good people who are trying to help, like the police department, like Homeland Security. They're all full of good people. It's the system that's the problem. Okay? So my challenge is, one, is Dr. Shiva. Either he's not who he says he is, but he's saying truthful information that we still need anyway, with a degree of criminality, or he's just a guy that's kind of got a little something sociopathically going on. And this is why I really don't speak on things till I had like time to process them. So you ever notice in Dr. Shiva's messages, he's always reminding you who the inventor of the email is? That's an indicator. That's an indicator. I saw it. I looked past it. People are like, oh, he's narcissistic. He's like, oh no, maybe that's just where he is in his warrior genes. I didn't grow up with him. I don't know what he's been through. But when I meet people, they obviously are resonating in an area where they got to keep reminding you that they did something they didn't do. They're greater than greatness is great, great, great. I'm okay with it. I really don't care nothing about it. I just say, okay, that's a little sociopath, something. Got that one of those 27 genes flipped the other way. And so it is what it is. You know, so I kind of think that you're just seeing some of that sociopathy doing what it does. I don't think he's deep state. I don't think he's CIA. I don't like what he had to say about Robert F. Kennedy. I don't like what he had to say about Dr. Buttar. I didn't like what he had to say about Del Bigtree. But that does not put him on an opposing side. See, you got to let people be people. Let people be people. Let Shiva be Shiva. Let Hillary be Hillary, Christine, and Amy, and Jimmy. Let them be them. And know that everybody comes with some quirks. You know that because you've been married before. You know, everybody comes with quirks. And if you've been married long enough, you know what you come with your quirks too. Just call it the spice of life and just accept it and roll with it for how it is.
In the name of fighting the coronavirus, tech companies are now following you through your cell phone.
There
They're
they are.
watching you from above with drones.
Yes, they
Those
are.
sound like paranoid fantasies. They are not. It's happening as we speak.
Yes, it
Needless
is.
to say, our politicians approve of this.
No, they are not. They don't approve of it. They are paid to do it. There's a difference. Approve of it means you passively just sit back and you co-sign it. No. Literally, their retirement is based on them putting a police state and a war state on Earth and destroying the stewards. So, but once again, the world makes sense when you realize that you are being ruled by a corporation, not governed by a government. Once you accept that, the world makes no damn sense if you think that governments are doing this. It doesn't make any sense. But when you realize it's just a corporation and they just want to make money, they got corporations underneath them and they just want to make money too. And they got poor people underneath that who just want to make money too. And when you put the world in that setup and you realize everything is just energy from microbiology to this level, then the world makes sense. But if not, then you go crazy. And this is why I laugh, because, you know, like I said, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me, and I did my part to help it.
How do you feel about the drones?
Look, at this point, we need to.
Is that Booger? Is that Booger? I think that's what he looks like. Is that the pharmaceutical guy? Him too. He's the best Booger he can be. He is the absolute best Booger he can be. And he was fighting for universal health care until it was time to get you low-cost Canadian drugs. I think that's how the story went. I don't follow your politics too much because I'm not a Roman, I'm not a Babylonian, I'm more of a barbarian, more of a steward to go along and get along with what I'm not supposed to have anything to do with. Yeshua Christ came here, told me I'm not supposed to have anything to do with the banks, I'm not supposed to have anything to do with the money changes, the currencies. I'm supposed to be feeding people, loving people, healing people, and I ain't turned on Yeshua Christ. I don't care what the conservatives say. I have no issues with what they're doing. But I'm not going to agree and go along with it. But I think that's Booger, if I'm not mistaken.
Save lives, and it's really important that in public spaces people are abiding by the directives.
I'm not sure why he was talking about saving lives, but if you let low-cost medications that people don't die from not having come here from Canada instead of you voting against them, it would have worked out. You would have saved some lives, but he voted against it. Y'all thought he was universal health care. That's why I just sit back. I just watch people. That's why I watch. I just watch. I'm like, y'all still believe this Roman domination by force stuff? Dr. Shiva is credentialed and questionable. Oh, yes, he is questionable, Sandra. Oh, he is. I'm not co-signing Dr. Shiva for being a leader. I'm co-signing Dr. Shiva to be a Dr. Shiva. That's all I'm doing. He has some relationship with some medical project that has something to do with vaccines. Somebody sent that to me. So I don't know what's going on. I never know what's going on. I try to let people change. But the things that he said were true. And the rest we'll find out in time. All right. You must look evil in the eye as you stab it in the heart, if only to know it's dead. Yeah, Jimmy T. That's a little aggressive, a little violent, a little bit-ish. But yeah, I agree with you. You got to walk through the ghosts. You can't be afraid. If you are afraid, you're useless. If you're fearful, you're useless. If you do everything that the boob tube tells you, you're useless. Shiva passed, but Shiva doesn't have to let people be who they are. Politics. Yeah, well, he believes in politics. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm not against him. I'm just against his idea on what's going to fix everything. Some people are for socialism, others are for free market capitalism, others for communism. I'm just like, look at the system. All the isms have all failed and always will, because they never have the power that we think they have. Those are usually just control systems for the colonies. He turned on them weeks ago. He definitely turned. He turned and he offered some good information. Root cause problem stuff, right? So I agree with him. So Shiva, I don't know if Shiva gets a pass for being Shiva, in my view. That's what I'm saying. Shiva gets a pass for being Shiva. He's still saying truthful things that at the root level make some sense.
Yeah, we've got to do it. So what do we have here? We have big companies partnering with the government to spy on you without your knowledge.
Yes, it's called communism. It's called communism when that debilitates the monkeys, socialism when that hurts the monkeys, and capitalism when you can hurt the monkeys with it. That's what it's called. It's called you are being ruled. You're not being governed. They will take anything that they can and beat you over the head with it, as long as you're out there fighting Tiki towards Nazis, not the Fourth Reich.
Americans locked in their homes, banned from going to church, placated with sedatives like weed and beer. Anyone who speaks up is silenced. Political demonstrations are illegal. Organizers are arrested. Only opinions approved by leaders, many of them unelected, are allowed on information platforms. Does that sound familiar? It sounds a lot like China. Of all the many ironies of this moment, so many of them bitter, the hardest to swallow is this one. As we fight this virus, we are becoming far more like the country that spawned it.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? It's funny to me. I know it ain't funny to some of y'all, but it's funny. Because they're like, China's so horrible. They're so horrible to their people. They run their people over with tanks. They're horrible, horrible, horrible. And we do everything we can to adopt everything from China to control our monkeys the way they're controlling their monkeys too. I just think that's hilarious. And people they're like, yeah, China racism, China's bad. and your government corporation is doing everything it can to be just like China, even getting military equipment from them.
We are becoming more like China. It's horrifying. And it tells you everything that our professional class enthusiastically welcomes this.
Welcomes it with your politicians. That's why the only people who are scared are the people who are not paying attention. The people who don't understand how the world works, who still want to go hire people who caused all the problems to solve the problem.
The weekend, The Atlantic magazine published an article by two academics calling for an end to freedom of speech in America. Their model for an ideal system, the totalitarian government of China. Quote, in the debate over freedom versus control of the internet, China was largely correct and the U.S. was wrong, end quote. You ought to read the whole thing. Truly, you should. It's the future. We could quote from it from the rest of the show, but we'll give...
No, I don't need to read it, brother. I appreciate it, Carlton. This is why I don't watch the news, because I can't talk to him and I can't correct him when I need to. But when I do it here, I can shut him up like that, and I can talk. I don't need to watch it because I already know what's going on. I just watch this for entertainment every now and then. I point out your contradictions. I point out things don't make no damn sense. I say the problem is the system. That's the only thing. But I'm not going to read it. I still haven't seen the UFOs from yesterday. I was supposed to watch them. I have not had time. You know how many UFO videos I've seen? When you understand how the world works, it's just not all that interesting. But for not in the details, you got important. I have microbiology and soil to cultivate. I don't really have time, so I ain't gonna watch it and I ain't gonna read it. I know that in a plantation, you cannot let the commodities have free speech. I get that. Free speech is not the intent. We don't have a Bill of Rights nor Constitution. They got rid of that in the Act of 1871. And after that, soon the whole world was colonized. Well, they tried at first and they couldn't get away with it till 1913 and 1933. When the billionaires who actually owned America, who bought your country, decided that they needed to be able to print endless money so they can get endless equipment, tanks, bombs, guns, boats that they can put your children on to go kill other people to steal their resources. That's what happened. That's what corporations do, and that's what they're supposed to do. We went for it and they did it.
I'll give you just one more. Quote, significant monitoring and speech control are inevitable components of a mature and flourishing internet, and governments must play a large role in these practices to ensure that the internet is compatible with society's norms and values.
Exactly. And did we not say that yesterday? Did we not say yesterday Facebook will do, and Facebook in America is going to do anything that America tells it to, right? It's going to go along with any popular narrative in Rome other than fix Rome, right? It's going to go along with the left. It'll go along with the right. It'll keep them in conflict. Anybody wants to be a steward and says the left is wrong and the right is wrong and the left is right and the right, the left is right and the right is right and the right is right, wrong, and the left is wrong. That, if you say that, no, can't do that. Facebook in Mogadishu, hey, Mogadishu politics only. You can be on this side of Mogadishu politics or that side of Mogadishu politics. You cannot be for fixing Mogadishu. All right, Britain, and for Britain Facebook, because that's just how it works. It actually is that simple. Like, they all agree with the system and maintaining it. What they don't agree with anybody who's trying to steward it and do the right thing.
End quote. Norms and values.
Norms and
Whose
values?
Norms and values?
Profit and greed, domination and control, monkey in cages, doing flips for the entertaining people who come in the zoo. Somebody gave that analogy yesterday, said we're just monkeys in a zoo. I thought it was, oh, this morning. What were we talking about? She gave the analogy that we're just monkeys in the zoo. Oh yeah, we were talking about microbiology and health and cultivation. And that's kind of not on the topic, so I'm not going to go along with that. But we are just monkey in the zoo. We're an entertaining zoo for the people who own the zoo, the keepers, the people buying the tigers and selling the tigers and having tiger babies and taking them out in the public to have them petted. This is all a show. It's all a show.
Values. Well, our leaders' norms and values, of course, but mostly their interests. Those in power are the ones our professional class seeks to protect, not the rest of the country. Freedom of conscience never endangers the public. It only threatens the powerful. It endangers their control. It hinders their ability to dictate election results, to loot the economy, to make policies based on whim for their own gain. No wonder our leaders have done such a poor job protecting us from China. They're on the same team.
There's the rub. He's saying truthful things. And once again, I've never watched Tucker Carlson before, but I think his career will be short-lived if he actually takes anything he said and applies it to Fox News. If he's on the right and he takes that and applies that on the right or conservatism, we're going to have a problem. As long as he attaches his identity and speaking the truth when it's against other people, as long as he sticks to that, he'll be fine.
Dave Rubin is the author of the fantastic new book, Don't Burn This Book. It came out today. We're happy to have him on tonight. Dave.
Even ask Crony. Don't burn any books. Why would you burn a book? There's no such thing as misinformation. It's just information, like hate speech. If it's bad speech, it's fixed with, if it's wrong speech, it's fixed with right speech. If it's bad speech, that's when good speech comes in. We're an ecosystem. The tares grow with the wheat. When you allow the tares to talk, then we know the tares are there, so we know how to fix the soil so the tares don't grow again. Okay, that's some Elaine Ingham. Everything is in balance. We are an ecosystem. If we don't know where there's anaerobic soil, we can't fix it. And if we don't know there's anaerobic soil in the trailer parks and the ghettos and the barrios and with the immigrants in Honduras, then we can't fix it. We need to know. There is no misinformation. There's no books that should be burned. There's only information, and all of it we need to know if we want to continue along the path of intellectuals and evolving.
Thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Thanks, Tucker. Good to be with you.
Good to have you. Do you notice that the norms and standards, to quote the Atlantic, of American life seem to have changed overnight, and all of a sudden we are being told we must accept things that would have been completely unimaginable 2 months ago?
Well, Tucker, there's so much to talk about here. First off, I didn't realize I was going to be on a sci-fi show tonight, but we are entering a dystopian future. We are entering an authoritarian future because, as I've said to you before, authoritarians love authoritarianism. So they're taking this opportunity when we're all confused, we're all locked at home. The only way we can communicate with each other is through their pipes, is through YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and everything else. And they're actually finally saying to us, this is who we are. I mean,
Don't 1984 me, bro. I miss that guy. He's still around, and they put him in the cemetery. Don't tase me, bro. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't live in America, just go look up Don't Tase Me, Bro, and you'll see. That was a man who kind of explained where we were going a very long time ago. Don't 1984 me, bro. And the other one's Maya Angelou. What does she say? When they show you who they are. That's not really her voice. When someone shows you. All right, that's wrong. Let me stop. When people show you who they are, if you don't believe them, you're the fool. You are the fool.
The Atlantic is ridiculous. I don't know anyone that reads it anymore. But the bigger issue here is the YouTube, Twitter, Facebook component of it, because we are now saying to them, or they're saying to us, we're going to tell you what's true. And if you dare go against what we say is true, not necessarily what is true, but what we say is true, then we're going to boot you. So of course, the other part of this is that it will always only be one side that gets booted here. I mean, is Facebook running around and is Twitter and YouTube running around? Are they taking away all the Russian collusion videos that were up over the past couple of years? I'm pretty sure MSNBC has a YouTube channel that still has videos on it. I mean, that was pushing lies and misinformation and propaganda. So we need to debate these things. If I was to interview these two doctors that you showed the video of, would my channel be deleted? Am I not allowed to talk about that? Is that not what science and open inquiry really is about? That you test theories and then you find out what actually is true? And as you pointed out, and this may be the most important part, it's not as if the WHO is infallible. They were literally just a few weeks ago telling us not to wear masks. Now, by law, I tried to go to CVS yesterday, and I wasn't going to wear a mask. I was just going to run in and out, and it said in the front of the store, it said, by law, you have to wear a mask. So
we don't know ever as much as we pretend to know. There is no settled science, and anybody who tells you it's settled and they want to censor you or silence you, they're just trying to sell you a product. Science is never settled. The science is always based on technology, what we know at the time, and that is if you think that the World Health Organization is here to bring world health through an organization. For me, I know that that's a contradiction. Organizations aren't interested in your health. Organizations only want to make profit. That's the whole purpose of every business here on the planet. It's to make profit. The other words in the statement are just the things that confuse you. World health, they don't care not two damns about the world, and they don't give two damns about the health. They are an organization. They are there for profit, like McDonald's, Burger King, Bear, and all the rest of them. Okay?
So it's not as if these people have some, some total stranglehold on truth that the rest of us have to bow to unless they force us to. And unfortunately, big tech has got us now more than ever because we're all trapped at home and it's the only way we can communicate.
Well, they don't have to force all of us to, right? Some of us still believe it. Some of us still believe in the system. Some of us still consent to the system. That's right. They're the authorities. Once you give them the author of rights, they have the right to settle any science they want to settle. And the very few who oppose it, because the majority agree with it, those are the ones they have to force. And that's why I'm saying the only truth tellers left are all in the cemetery. Because when you tell significant truth, you do a good job of it, they're going to put you in that cemetery.
So no one in science has a monopoly on the truth. Science, in fact, is a rejection of the idea that there is a monopoly on truth. It's the endless search for what we can prove. That's what science is. This has nothing to do with it. You introduced as a hypothetical the notion that you could be deleted your channel for hosting this video. I'm not sure that is hypothetical anymore, and my question is very simple. How long before they come for you? You just wrote a book called Don't Burn This Book. How long before they come for the show? Sincere questions.
Just get popular.
Yeah, well, at some level, I don't want to think about it, but, Tucker, you've written a couple of books, and you know that the publishing process takes quite some time. So I finished this book back in July, but I'm very proud that the ideas that I present in Don't Burn This Book are more relevant now than they even were then, because I talk about big tech, I talk about fake news, all of the things that we're constantly talking about. And am I worried? Yeah, I'm worried. I mean, look, everyone should be worried. Everyone should be worried. This is why I started Locals.com, my tech company, because I think we need digital homes. Anyone that's online and you think that YouTube or Facebook or Twitter is there to protect you, You're the product. I mean, these things are free, except free meaning they just took your soul in exchange for it. We should own our data. You should own your own content. We need to start rethinking everything. I mean, I think this is why...
No, we don't need to rethink anything in terms of that. I think that's already been thought about, and it's been thought about with Aristotle and Plato and all the people who were smarter than us, all the philosophers. They thought about it, and it all came to a mount of truth called free speech. And Citizen Deb is talking about MySpace, and that's what I'm saying. We don't actually have to rethink any of it. What happened to MySpace? They were free speech. You go on MySpace, you see anything. You see anything, you hear anything, you learn anything, because they allowed everything. And that's how it should be. It was chaotic, but yet it was an ecosystem of honesty and truth. And it would have bubbled up into a beautiful free world if they allowed public opinion to rule the platform. So what happened to MySpace? You can't have an empire with a MySpace. You cannot be a corporation that does the things that it does if you actually have platforms that allow people to speak truthful things and honest, scientific, sociological discourse. You can't make money. You can't make millionaires and billionaires in an ecosystem of honesty. You're going to be all middle class, medium-sized businesses, because nobody's going to thrive too hard. There's something about this world, Citizen Deb, something about these economies that you actually can't get big unless you're corrupt. You can't get big, because no matter how big you get, somebody else comes along and they either improve on your idea, they got a better idea, they have a better organization, or they can serve local better than you. Like, you can't be a tomato farmer and sell tomatoes in 5 states without some corruption and some cronyism. Why? Because the guy lives in that state. Tomatoes grow for free. If I'm right here, you're not going to beat my price. You can't beat my price. I literally put them in the soil, in the sunshine, the water take care of the rest. So how the hell are you selling tomatoes in my neighborhood? Right? There's something about the way we are. Local works. Big corrupt does not work. It doesn't work. And the only way that you keep it is you got to constantly bail it out. And this is why Donald Trump bailed out the corporations like Barack Obama did. Like did Bush, like any president will do. Like the next president, too big to fail. Why? Because the big corporations are in bed with the big corporation that looks like a government. So what happened to MySpace? MySpace actually believed in the ecosystem philosophies where you just let people be people. You let Citizen Deb post what she wants. You let Kay post what she wants. Amy, Gabriel, who's that? Gabrielle, Jimmy, Patty, and Sandra and Christine. You let people post what they want to post, and you become an ecosystem. And that's why I do what I do. I don't do this for anything other than it teaches me. I don't silence people, then I can get smarter, right? Now it also means I got to admit I'm wrong. But my interest is in getting smarter. It's not in being right. I don't care anything about being right. I care about being correct. And the only way you can care about being correct is to be corrected. Big corporations can't be corrected. Why? Because they kill a lot of people. If you're making French fries and people are dying because of it, eventually somebody's going to say that you get big enough. If you're making cheese and people are dying of cardiovascular disease, you get big enough, somebody's going to say something, right? Napster was another one, Jimmy. I'm not sure how we're off in the 1980s stuff because I wasn't around in 19. I'm 29. I don't even remember. I'm going to think about what people said about Napster, Jimmy, because I don't remember Napster. I think about what people said about Napster and what from the old people taught me, Jimmy, about Napster. Napster also was a free platform too, where you could upload music, download music, and share the music. I'm against the whole copyright thing. I'm against copyrights of all shapes and sizes. They make sense in the crony world we have because musicians got to eat too. You know, but the first step is corporations losing their copyrights. I don't believe you should have a patent. You should not have a patent-based systems because corporations don't need food. They don't need to exist. They shouldn't exist, and to get big, they got to be corrupt and dirty. So Napster was another one. It was free. It was free, and it was a good thing. It was in the 90s. Both I said Napster was in the 90s. Okay, I remember Napster then. I was alive then. I was probably 2. What year is it? It was a free platform, and I agree with it. But musicians got to make money, right? People, this is why I like real solutions like the resource-based economy, Zeitgeist movement, Venus Project, Ubuntu movement. I can't promote them enough. Jacques Fresco, Peter Joseph, Michael Tellinger. They've been thinking about this stuff back when I was a corrupt, dirty, colluding, criminal Republican and Democrat, okay? They've been thinking about this stuff for a long time. And when musicians have everything that they need, we print everything they want, then they don't have to be millionaires and billionaires. Then they just produce beautiful music that they do better than anybody else because they'll put 130% into it because it's their passion. Like, I was just thinking about that this morning. It was going through my mind, like, how many Nikola Teslas have we lost? Not in history, but just today alone. How many Shakespeare's have we lost today alone? How many kids were born into debt and poverty and we blame them for who they were born to, that they died because they had some ailment and nurses and doctors couldn't take care of them, they couldn't afford medical help, and they died because of it? How many of them turned to a life of, I hate air quotes, but crime, because they were born in a impoverished environment and there's no other way to take care of them? Well, these people had solutions for all of that, right? How many Teslas were born? How many Einsteins were born? How many Martin Luther Kings were born? How many people, great thinkers, Aristotle's and Plato's, but they weren't born to the right family? We attached that birth debt to them to make them slaves. And so they went off to be bankers. They went off to be accountants or doctors, and they suck at it, but it makes a lot of money. We lose too many people. We lose too many people. How many of those people were born now have autism? Because they were given autism by the environment. We can't even talk about what causes autism, so I don't even touch it anymore. If you want to know, you can go out and search for it and you'll find it. It's everywhere on the internet, but it's not allowed on the powerful platforms. We literally are making psycho world more psycho, and the psychos can't even figure that out. We the psychos can't even see it. We're products of it.
I'm actually quite enthused about the world right now. As depressing and upsetting as some of the news is, you know, there's a new world coming on the horizon, and I think a lot of people are rethinking the way they look at the world. The way, do you want to commute? Do you want to live in a big city? Do you want to be so reliant on the institutions and systems that we've always been reliant on? So I think we have to rethink things, and you know what, Tucker, this is still America for a little while, and I believe in old-fashioned hard work and competition and ingenuity, and I think that's what will fix this. But yeah, we got a big battle to fight in front of us.
And I'm encouraged too. I'm encouraged too. As much as I sit here and I look back and I'm like, this is damn ridiculous. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged because it takes a tragedy to bring a family together. I'm encouraged because bad times are coming, but you're seeing a lot of people who are more interested in truthful information. A lot more people are interested in a different form of thought. A lot of people are more interested in things they weren't interested in before. A lot of people calling all their conspiracy theory family members. A lot more people are now thinking, well, maybe Bigfoot is real. So I think we are in good times. And now if you can just take people who see that and link that up with, who was it? Bill Clinton signed the thing we talked about yesterday that said that, hey, we need to reduce the population to 1 billion, or we need to send them back to agrarian peasant lifestyles. 2 options. Well, we can make the 3rd option if we educate people. They said, no, there's another option. We can go back to agrarian lifestyles and robots do the work. You know, so right now we're being sent back to agrarian lifestyles. Why? Because they're breaking the economy. They're literally breaking the GDP. So they're not going to give us the 3rd option. We have to take the 3rd option, right? The robots are going to be utilized either to make the corporations wealthy, or they're going to be utilized to allow you to live a decent agrarian lifestyle. We do need to go back to living in the communities. We do need to go back out to the suburbs. There's land everywhere. We're not even close to overpopulated. It's just people who own the large swath of lands don't want you populating their land. There are too many billionaires. There aren't too many poor people. Why would one be against the resource-based economy, Brett? Because they don't know what it is. I think that's only it. They're not understanding how this world works. They're not understanding if you deny people, people will fight for what you have, and then they'll fight to become John D. Rockefellers, right? I call him Johnny B. Good because Johnny B. Good was Johnny B. Good when he was born. The only reason he became the man he did, creating Standard Oil, which is why they hide the UFO technology and keep us on fossil fuels that's destroying the climate, is because we allowed a model that abused his mother. Right? He had an abusive father. He didn't come home. He had another family somewhere else. And when he barely came home, he really didn't do much good. So Johnny D. Good looked out for his mama. and he became a warrior psychopath. Now, he's not good as it with the kids who joined the Ku Klux Klan and the kids who joined the skinheads and the kids who joined the Bloods and Crips and MS-13, all the people that they put you against. He became a billionaire. He learned cronyism. He learned how to, he started, I think, investing in stock at first. Then he created Standard Oil, and then he created some crony thing where what was the thing he did in his town when he grew outside of his town, where he bought all the barrels in the town or something like that, or bought all the alcohol so the other petrol oil companies couldn't buy it, and he developed in that cronyism. And then Johnny B. Good became Johnny D. Bad. When Johnny D. Good became Johnny D. Bad. Why? And now people hate him. I don't hate him. Devil Bill did it. It was his father. And we who allowed a society that allowed such oppression over a family and allow a man to be such a ridiculous person. But then again, he was probably abused too. That's how the system works. That's why it's always the system. It's always the system. We're always looking for someone to blame, and it's easier blaming people other than ourselves. It's always easier, but it's not going to solve anything. It's just going to make everything worse. So I think they blame the resource economy because they don't know how it works. They don't understand. They don't understand the professionals who are behavioral scientists and neuroscientists have already told us, if you abuse women, they are going to eventually put some grounded glass in your soup, right? You abuse kids, they're going to grow up and abuse other people, right? You allow rape to exist, they're going to grow up and some of them are going to become rapists and other people are going to commit suicide. We create the environment. We consent to the environment. So when people realize a resource-based economy is sharing what was developed by all of our ancestors through technology and robots doing labor, where people just go live their lives and be free. When they understand it, I don't know anyone who is against the resource-based economy, Brett, who said that, Brett? I don't know anyone who's against it who understands it. It's literally the Garden of Eden. It's literally the Garden of Eden. And it's not a utopia. Still gonna have problems, right? And that's why I love it, because it means I get to keep working while y'all don't. Because it ain't work for me writing software. We're gonna have robots break down, building houses, gonna collapse, fall, this is gonna happen. It's not, the wall ain't gonna be thick enough, the plumbing ain't gonna be right, the pipe isn't gonna be the right type of pipe, and I got work to do, but it's not work for me. I love writing software. I love solving problems, you know? But people need to be released and be free as human beings to go do what they need to, so they don't become Tiki Torch Nazis that eventually become the Fourth Reich Nazis. There's no difference in them or the Fourth Reich Nazis or me. We're all the same. If I were born in their environment, I would be them. And if I were them and I had the resources of John D. Rockefeller, I'd be one of the billionaires that bought America. Right? We're all the same energy. Till we figure out how the world works, we're just waiting for our extinction. How many homeopathic doctors have we lost? How many archicides? So many, Patty, I think we lost count. All of the ones who proficiently stood up and became stewards of the human health, they've already killed. And that was going around, that's what, about 10 years ago? That it was really prolific, but before that, you had people who developed like the cancer solving machine or a machine that could cure different cancers. They put that man in prison. And they stole his machine, and they criminalized his patent, right? The same way they do with the Inventors Securities Act, what they do with the free energy. Why? Because it violated community standards. Pharmaceutical companies own the community, and it violated their community standards. Facebook is no different than us, different than anybody else. Most of my friends don't even want to hear hate speech. How's that any different than Facebook? How is that any different than Mark Zuckerberg? Mark Zuckerberg just has software and a corporation behind it. Most of these people, they'll walk away. They don't want to hear a woman whining about being raped. They don't hear a woman whining about being abused. They'll just walk away. They don't want to hear it. They want the pretty world. They want the pretty. You know how many friends I've lost because of the stuff I post? I don't really care. I keep posting it. My interest is in people who give a damn. People who give a damn, who want to listen. That's why I don't censor anybody. Anyway, Stockholm Syndrome. They do the same to the concept of the nation state. Absolutely. Well, Stockholm Syndrome works both on all levels the same exact way. Peace, Kamlesh. Yes, peace to everybody. Peace to the whole world. I have nobody, I'm not against anybody. My problem is the system that creates people and put them in opposition to my freedom of speech and me just living a free, peaceful life. It's over 100 doctors that have been suicided, and probably a lot more than that, Gabrielle. I think there are a lot we don't even know about. Drop Windows 95 FTP P2P by opening the platform online. The Pennsylvania guy hated that rock, Comcast, and NIN. I got all of that, but the Comcast and NIN parts, Jimmy, people don't know what you're talking about. File transfer protocol, FTP and P2P. That's that Jimmy was came out of the IT world. Let me see. Peer-to-peer networking outside of copyright, our first rock. Absolutely, Jimmy. Open source economy. Open source. No more secrets. There shouldn't be no more secrets. If you have secrecy, you will not have a society. You don't build an ecosystem on secrecy. It all needs to be known. Everything needs to be in the open. There can be no secret governments, no secret societies, no secret corporations. The only secrets you can have is human beings and what happens in your own bathroom. That's the only secrets you can have when you're doing tick check. Yes, I got that tick, and I had to do a tick check yesterday. Because, yeah, that's what you have to do. You got to make sure ain't nothing on you bloodsucking. You got to make sure ain't no Democrats or Republicans or Americans or patriots, fatriots. You ain't got to make sure none of them ticks is on you in the Garden of Eden. And so I did my tick check, and I made sure. I tell you what, cell phones are great apps for tick check when ain't nobody else around. They're great apps. The only damn shame is if you are the NSA and you're pulling the wrong person's photo pictures. Because the cell phones got them cameras and the lights where you can see areas where the sun don't shine. I tell you what, I don't know who's going through my phone. I guarantee you I'm not the popular one in that department within the NSA. I know I'm not popular, and I'm not supposed to be. Why? Because you're not supposed to be going through anybody's personal device. That's right. The only privacy should not be owned by the NSA or deep state. The only privacy should be what you have, what's going on with you, in your own little body, in your own little bathroom. Anyway. Ooh, contradiction of terms. Corporations' ethics. Exactly, Don. Corporations don't have ethics. It's funny, Don. You know that? It took me a couple of decades working in the corporation to figure that out. Well, how could you work in a corporation? You're only 29 years old. Shut up. Trust the science. Don't agree with no Romans and age exists. Age doesn't exist. You're as young as the garden you protect and you cultivate. There's a contradiction in terms, and I figured that out with you, Don, which is it's a corporation. It has no ethics. It's a corporation. It's there to make money. It becomes a monster for all the people, the janitor, the mailman, people sweeping the floor, people who are doing the stocks, the CEO, the executives, all of them working together with the vice president. It becomes its own monster, and profit is the bottom line. The only fool in the room is the one who believes corporations have ethics and they have any interest in your health, your security, your freedom, your friendship, or your sustainable, happy use of a product. If we actually had a free market economy, which I'm not really a proponent of, I'm not against, it's just if you actually had one, you would know, because you would only have local businesses. You would only have small businesses because all the big ones would get toppled. The mid-sized ones would never get big enough because there's just too many ingenious ideas in how all this works. If you have big corporations, you know you do not have free market. You don't even have capitalism. You got a merger of cronyism, communist, social, somethingism, anything to keep them on top. And that's exactly what we got today. We're all on the same team. It's just some of us have figured that out and the rest have no damn clue. No secrets in the bathroom with 5G. Nope, Sharon, because 5G, they're going to see through your walls. They're going to see everything that the people at the TSA see. They're going to see it all. I don't care. All of it. And half of me thinks that the police already got that stuff now. What is it called? The Stinger or something where they can look through walls? They got 5G. People are talking about 6G. And it's just like, we don't have a clue. We're attempting the extinction we deserve. Those terms have been internationally conflated to convolute the inherent fascism of the nation-state system itself. Yes, both fine. You all use them big words. I got to read you over here, because anytime I try to read you, I can't see nothing. You always use the big words. He got edumacation. He got that edumacation stuff. Fascism plus technocracy, I tend to consider maybe why the Russiagate PSYOP were going on board in terms of conflagration. Oh, she got big words too. Who is this, Amy? Terms like fascism and racism. Thanks to the recent round of BS, lots of people have basically reduced fascism to mean simply racism. Frustrating and convoluted in specific ways and purposes. IMO. Yes, Amy, which is why I don't agree with nobody. I disagree with everybody. I don't agree with none of the monkeys. None of them. I don't agree with none of the group. The minute you find some monkeys in a group, they're going to mess it up, Amy. That's just what they do. I agree with leave people alone, let them be. Leave people alone, let them be, let them talk. Take care of people, and they'll grow up to take care of you. That's what I believe. I don't like fascism, racism, taminism, because the minute the monkeys get together, that groupthink takes over, and they'll change the meanings and definitions and get fascists cheering fascism while they're fighting fascism at the same time. Robot masks gonna be big, and AI masks too. Yes, they are, Citizen Dev, because that's the world we're building. We're just walking towards that future, and now the UK has that law. What is the name of the law the UK has? Let me see. What's the name of that law? The UK has that law now. It's like the NDAA. They're coming right along with us. I remember I told y'all that America is going crazy and we're going to take the whole world with us because America works. They're out there fighting each other, poor people fighting each other, talking about elections, and they're locked at home in a 1984 labor camp called an economy, a forced labor camp. Half of them fighting for forced labor to restart, and the other half of them fight to stay in their homes and give over every last little drop of their free will and rights to these monsters. Now Eckhart Tolle, nope, that's not him, forcing vaccine. I'm looking at the videos I was watching this morning. Somebody forcing vaccines, quick act now, law change. Okay, that's it right there. This is the UK one right here. I can't play it because I'm not sure who the brother who did the video.
Hello there everybody, this is Dan from Being Irie. So this is breaking news, I'd say. As you can see, this is a gentleman's channel. Is going to give some information about his rights and what has just changed. So please have a listen to this.
Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about our rights when it comes to having a mandatory vaccine. The UK COVID laws were changed just before all this kind of kicked off.
Okay, I don't think I can play that. I'm sorry. He was about to say something honest. I can't play it. I listened to part of it this morning. The bottom line is the UK has a law now, or they're trying to pass it, where it's like the NDAA, right? If you are infected, or if they think that you got something that and you don't do what they say to do, they own everything in your house. They can take anything, your livestock, your crops, your food, the money out your bank account. So basically they became us. And unfortunately I have to self-censor because it's not my platform. This platform is owned by Mark Zuckerberg and the people who own Google, and they don't want you talking about those things. And I'm not going to tempt them. It's their cafe. I'm not going to come in your cafe and demand that I get to say what I want to say. I know I don't have any free speech. I already know that. I know that because the vast majority of people who are watching me right now vote so that we don't. So we don't get to talk about it. I'll post it and we'll see if I get flagged for posting it. But who is this? His name is Being IWE on YouTube. One of the sisters was floating out around this morning, but the UK is coming along with us to crazy town where we have no rights. All right. You'll be issued a gag, now back in line, peasant, no talking. That's it, Jimmy. They issue those gag orders. Which is why the truthful things aren't talked about, right? All someone has to do is like sue you for a certain thing. They issue a gag order and you don't get to talk about whatever it is, which is the craziest thing. Didn't they do that with the whole O.J. Simpson thing? Like the way it works where they don't want you to talk in public. They can shut you up anytime they want. They got a whole police state to back it up. And all the different ways they censor people. All right, yeah, don't 1984 me, bro. That's it, Patricia, it's where we are. All right. Those California doctors should do a London Real interview. Well, London Real looks like they're blowing it up, Gabrielle. I don't even know who these brothers are, but it started with David Icke. They're blowing it up, which is why I appreciate David Icke. I'm glad that he went to Crazy Town, talked about aliens and Bigfoot and people abducting and all the crazy stuff he did, gave him the platform, and when it was time for him to say what was real, he said it, and millions of people heard it. He said, your world is run by a cult. And then they silenced him. Now you can't find him anywhere on the internet. Ooh, Patty said it's not a virus, it's something else, which I can't repeat because they also made that known that you are not allowed to associate those things on one of these platforms. But if you want to know, the information's out there. You just gotta give a damn enough to look for it. You don't want to get sick, you need to go look for it. Now, I don't totally agree with you, Patty, and what you typed. I will say that it's flu season, And we have a lot of technology that's making things worse for our bodies, that are debilitating our immune systems, from our diet to the food to the air, the oxygen, and new technologies that they're rolling out when we know the old technologies cause the same type of problems that actually would mimic what could look like the flu. I think there are a lot of things that are going on. My bank announced today that you must wear a mask when entering the lobby by appointment only, required until the end of June. They do this now when the fake pandemic is almost over. Interesting, Ivana. And I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad that they have this 3-phase startup, and some states can start up and some states can't start up. I'm glad they have it. Because if anything, it's making obvious to the people who couldn't see it where we actually are and what is actually going on. If they restarted everything, I'd be so confused, Ivan, I wouldn't even know what to say. If once it was obvious we were down at the 0.01 and they're deleting the videos from the doctors who were saying that, who were really talking about science, if they just open the country right back up, I'd be confused. I'd be like, how does at the Act of 1871 even make any sense? They saw a problem and they fixed it. They didn't do what was profitable. They did what was right. They immediately opened everything up. If they went on news and said, hey guys, we overblew everything, we apologize, we're sorry. This, you know what? And that's what I'm saying, that I don't see enough honesty coming from any president. I don't see enough honesty coming from Donald Trump. I would believe he's president of the United States if he actually went out there and said, all right, guys, yep, we overshot it. We overshot it. I told you in the very beginning it was flu season. Turns out it's just flu season. I let people talk me into this nonsense. We destroyed our economy, and I'm scared. We only got so much left. We've lost millions of businesses, but we got a few that are holding on. If Donald Trump believed in capitalism, if he believed in free market, if he was a patriot, believed in liberty, America, yeah, America. If he believed in that and he actually had authority, he would just step out and say, hey, here's the deal. We messed up. We screwed up, but we're not going to screw up anymore. Every day we stay closed, we're toppling another business who was operating, in our country, that we had no right to do what we did. We violated the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. We're sorry. We got a lot of people killed. We got a lot of women abused. We got a lot of children abused. More kids were abducted. We hurt a lot of people. People died. People died in their homes quietly with heart attacks. And we apologize. We screwed up. We're gonna limit the damage. And we're going to open the whole country immediately, right now, because this is not real. He didn't do that. And so it's up to people who can put those parts and pieces together in their mind and form critical thought to determine why. And it should be obvious why. All right. So that was my thing. If Trump were standing on his own, fighting the Democrats and Republicans and fighting the deep state, he wouldn't be going along with the deep state. Or the deep state is just a thing that is so powerful that nobody can oppose it. Either way, we're all on the same team. And either way, we're all going to die together. Either way, we're all going to walk into 1984 and give the whole world over to these billionaires and trillionaires and become slaves. Or we're not. And I'm fine either way, to be honest with you. I'm good to go either way. I saw this coming a long time ago with a lot of other people, and I'm just sitting here watching like, can y'all put the pieces together? Here's the puzzle, and it's not like 1,000 world puzzle. It's not a 1,000-piece puzzle. It's not a 500-piece puzzle. It's not a 300-piece puzzle. This is not a 100. This is like a 25-piece puzzle, if that. This might be a 10-piece puzzle. And you just put the pieces together like, oh, I get it. We've consented to this. We need to stop. This is modern slavery. Children shouldn't be born indebted to billionaires who don't want to do work. Corporations shouldn't exist. They got to be crony and get bailouts to stay. And every president does it. Every administration does it. And now it's being done all over the world. It's obviously that a global cult actually does run the world. I thought I knew the world. I didn't know the world. I'm an adult. I can put the pieces together. I'm starting to see the picture. Good thing the puzzle was only 10 pieces. I got it. Now I'm going to change my behavior. We can do that, or we can keep fighting the Tiki towards Nazis. We can keep voting for the Fourth Reich to fight the Tiki towards Nazis. Anyway, I didn't go. I got some microbiology, bacteria, and a whole ecosystem to take care of because I am a lazy gardener. And if I can take care of the ground, the plants take care of themselves, they really don't need my help, like the immune system doesn't need my help, like the human body doesn't need my help. You leave it alone, let it do what it's supposed to do, it will work well in the ecosystem. You don't do what you're supposed to do, you don't eat what you're supposed to eat, you don't put on your skin what you're not supposed to, you believe the boob tube, when you know it's a boob tube and it just makes you stupid, then yes, you are going to create the cultivating systems in the anaerobic areas and the things that end in disease. Anyway, this is Gerard, I gotta go, more important things to do. I got an ecosystem here in the garden that wants to be cultivated. And the human race wants to be cultivated and they want to do some cultivation. We're just waiting on our extinction. Like I said, I'm not against extinction. I'm 100% on the side of nature. Either I'm going to live free, we're going to be free humans, or we need to go away. All right, I got to go. It's Gerard. Love y'all to death. Thanks for hanging in there. That was a great one. Thank you, Tucker Carlson. I don't know if he's waking up because I don't even know if he was sleeping. I don't watch him. But he said very truthful things. Hopefully you shared, liked, and subscribed. I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day. It's Gerard. Love y'all to death now. Let's try to grow up. Bye-bye.
Do you want to free the people? Do you want to free?